Hello everyone, welcome to our new series of digital forensics. In this series, we will discuss what are the free tools you need to create your own malware analysis and digital forensics lab. We will focus on static and dynamic analysis both. First, the tool that you need, then basic utility of them. We will show you where you can download. In the second part, we will show you from where you can download the malware sample and how to use this tool as an incident responder. If you like the content, please don't forget to subscribe our channel and feel free to like, comment and share.
Okay, so without doing any further delay, we will start from the beginning. So first we will see what are the tools that we will be needing to create a forensic workstation or a such forensic lab. So first we will kickstart with the VMware workstation player. So you guys can choose VMware Workstation Pro as well. So one caveat for using VMware Workstation Player is you cannot take snapshot of your images. So that is a big caveat. But if you want to store your machine um, in the same state where actually it is running, so you can save the whole disk drive. So if you open it, so as you can see, if I want to save this Kali Linux, so I need to store this whole um, folder and I need to copy it maybe in external drive or somewhere other place. So if my um, VMware gets corrupted, so I can just copy paste the whole thing and I can get it from there, right? So we will start off this discussion with a Windows 7 32-bit operating system. So I'll paste the link in the description below from where you can download a copy of Windows 7. Creating a virtual machine and running it, I'll skip that option as of now in this course, but if you want that course I can help you that as well. So without wasting much time, let's play that virtual machine and let's see. So to start off, just as a kind of reminder, so what we are going to establish here, a basic um, forensic and malware analysis lab, what the tools that you might need on your virtual machines and other kind of softwares that you might be needing, and all of the software, most of the software that we are using will come as a free software, so you do not need any paid license as such. Expect only they accept this VMware workstation player, right? So that is the only thing that you might need, and apart from that, everything else is free, right? So first of all, we would start. So when you do any kind of malware analysis or like digital forensics, there are two kind of analysis portion, right? So one could be your static analysis and one could be your dynamic analysis. So we will cover the both in and in this course. So to start off first, if you have already installed a Windows 7 virtual machine, so first tool that you might need in your arsenal is, we call it as PEStudio. So this is the tool. So I have already installed it in my machine. Um, so if you want, so let me show you. I'll post the link in the description box below as well. So it's a free tool. Download PEStudio. If you just do a Google, um, you will get a PEStudio. So just remember, PEStudio is kind of a free tool. What it comes up with a pro version as well. As per your requirement, you can use, but I generally use the free version, so that's resolved most of my purpose, right? So let me open up the PEStudio console here. Okay, so this is pretty much nothing is there. So how the actual look of it while you drag and drop a file for analysis. So that we will come up in the next video. So please subscribe to our channel, and you will get notified about this next video very soon. So we'll be posting a next video where we will show you how you can analyze a practical malware. We will download that malware online, and we will show you how you can extract that IOC from the malware, what are the basic steps for doing malware analysis and forensicating on that particular binary as such. But this is the PEStudio kind of tool. What you can do, as I show you from this website directly here. So if we drag and drop any or like any exe file or any binary file as such, so you drag and drop and it gives you a various feature. uh, Let me zoom in a little bit. Okay, so here we go. So basically it gives you the indicator. So always remember one thing while you are doing or you are kickstarting with any of your malware analysis. Before running that particular machine or that particular application, always turn off your internet connection. So by doing that, you won't be able to submit your file to VirusTotal API, Mitre API. So some other features will be disabled, but you will be able to extract its hash value, its header information, what are the file header information, all other strings, if any specifically packed strings is there in that particular exe file or that binary file, you will be able to get that information. So you will get some other information like what are the libraries that particular tool might be using. So we will focus that in our second part. So that we'll be releasing this week only. So stay tuned on that. So without wasting much time, let's go to our next tool. So we'll close our PEStudio. Now, for doing that kind of like similar kind of action where you can do that similar level of static analysis, you need to have this agent Ransack in your arsenal as well. So what does agent Ransack do? So agent Ransack is basically uh, kind of, we can say, it uses a framework of Procmon, and it will give you any keyword search in any of your files. So suppose you are working on a ransomware execution or a ransomware sample file, and you have your IOC list on your in your bucket, and you can search it. So for example, if you search here like Procmon, so this is for example. So we can show you the latter part how you can use as a forensicating tool. And if you look in the C drive in my machine, and if you just start, so it will just kick off that, and it will show you what are the files that matches with that keyword Procmon file name. And it can search based on the exact containing text as well. You can select your drive as well, what are the drives you may be needing, any DOS expression like boolean. You can use regex expression as well. So if you need help writing regex, we have a regex session in our tutorial as well in our channel. You can show that, and you can see that as well. So regular expression, then fuzzy word. If you want to search only the folder, so you can do that as well. So if any folder is named by Procmon, that will pop up here. So as you see, there is no folder named Procmon, so we do not have anything. So um, this particular tool Ransack, again I'll show you where you can download. So if you do here uh, agent Ransack download. Okay, um, so you can go to this first option, and probably it will give you that three option: File Locator Pro, File Locator Lite, and Agent Ransack, right? So you can download on depending on your need. So just remember that this pro version comes up with a 30 days of trial license. But anyway, if you are using this Procmon, like this tool, um, for like in a VMware, so you do not need to worry about that trial license or any licensing, right? So you can reuse that, and you can uninstall it and reuse on your new VM, right? So this particular tool is very useful when you are searching your keyword on any disk drive or any extracted tool or any extracted application as such. So this is a very handy tool, and you need to have, you must in your arsenal for malware analysis. Okay, so the next thing that we will do, we will open up for, so now gradually we are going to our kind of dynamic analysis. So static analysis means you are not running that particular software or suspicious application in your machine, um, but uh, when you want to debug that particular application in a much broader aspect, you can run that, run the other tools to amplify those and get the IOCs out of it. So you need to basically want to get the feel of how are the actually the characteristics of that malware, what the malware actually does when it runs on your machine. So those kind of feature um, we will do generally in dynamic analysis, right? So first dynamic analysis, we need a tool which is process execution. So this is a really awesome tool. So it comes up with the sys internal suite package. So again, if you just go here, um, if you do sys internal suite, so probably the first website will route to the, yes, so this is the website. So anyway, the link I will give in the description box below. If you guys have any problem of downloading this particular software, you guys can let us know, and we can host a file or drive, share drive for you to access that particular file. So sys internal suite is currently maintained by Microsoft, and process explorer is a is that portion of that particular tool, right? So okay, so now what actually it does, it gives you a really good process, kind of process tree kind of structure, as you can see. So first, the system process is the parent process. So from system, which are the process it's running, then probably when I need execution. So again, you can see this SBC host just launched these two process task ENGXE and Google Update EXE. So those keep on running on your background, right? So these are the uh, process, or these are the EXE files that is basically running on my VM right now. So when you run a malware or a new EXE file, so that pops up in this area. And if that is suspicious, so what are the other option, right? So um, so you can view it over here, and it has an option for like so this has an option to dump your file directly from your machine to VirusTotal. But since we are, and we will be using this process or the whole malware execution process in offline mode, so that option won't work. But at least when you are running that particular malware on your system, you will know that what are the other execution that it will be creating, or what are the other um, process it might be running inside your machine. So as you can see, multiple new process is spawning up while we talk. So this kind of scenario we will see in our next video, where we will execute a malware, and we will show you what are the new process that is created by that malware, right? So the new feature of this tool, you can just select it, you can kill, set the priority, you can kill that process, you can kill the process tree as well. By doing that killing of process tree, it will kill the whole parent process, child process underneath of that. You can so this you can see like check wine virus total, so that option will be available as well if you are doing it in online. So currently I do not have that API with me, so that option is disabled. So what you can do that, so if you can restart that as well. Now if you want to dump that so suppose you find a malware or a spawn process after executing of your malware, so you can create a dump of that process. So it will create a mini dump and it will create a full dump as well. So that dumping will help you to further debugging that particular execution process in your further tooling. So we will do that. We will show you that what are the tools that you might need to check the dump of that particular file, right? So this is an awesome tool, and you can download it and get it from sys internal suite as well. So we'll close it up, and the next tool is Procmon. So it kind of similar tool, but the okay, so we will run it as administrator. Okay, yeah. So Procmon is basically kind of similar tool that we showed you previously, the process execution tree, process explorer. But what Procmon does, Procmon will give you the registry key information as well. If you do not need that registry information, you can hide that anyway. So you can check the properties from that um, execution label from where Procmon is running, what are the software, what are the registry key that is associated with your process, and you can probably write filter as well. So suppose enable advanced output or filter. So if you want that something like to focus on, so like authentication ID, category, then company, um, or maybe process ID or process name as well. So like if you know that what process is running after executing a malware, so you can use that as well in your filter here, and you can just click add, and that particular process will be run. So for example, dll host.exe, so if you add it, so it added, and if you just hit OK, so you see that dll host.exe is now in your filter. So now you can clear your filter as well. So you will see the dll host.exe from where it is running, and you can probably do the same thing, like you can copy it, you can highlight it for your like to see the parent PID. So all this is highlighted because it's running under same parent process, right? So you can you can do that, and if you want, you can this is the basic option to auto scroll. So it will scroll down to your very under niche, and it will show you what are the process that is being run and spawned if any malware has been executed. So this is another awesome tool. You must need it in your arsenal for starting malware analysis. So again, sys internal suite comes up with process monitor Procmon basically comes up with your um, sys internal suite as well, right? So okay, so now what the next thing is an Autorun shortcut. So again, this tool is also a sys internal packaging tool. So this particular tool will give you that information that what are the auto runs enabled on your machine, and you can see it. So from which auto run key, basically registry key, that particular file or particular exe been run. So if you go here, cmd.exe will run under this alternate shell key. So you can check that, and this option will particular come handy very much when you first you keep that Autorun running on your machine, and after you execute that malware, and then see what are the registry key that has been modified by that malware, and what are the Autorun feature that has been dropped on your machine. So you can check here by going the schedule task as well. So if there are any schedule tasks like Google Updater, Task Machine, then Google Updater again, NCAP Watchdog, these are the schedule tasks already been scheduled on my machine. So if your malware has dropped something else and it created a scheduler, task scheduler in your machine, you can check that as well here, right? So you can check here like the logon. So what are the probably logon command that will be supplied by your registry key when you logged on your machine, that you can check. So all these features will come handy when you particularly running a um, malware and check that what the modification it has done afterwards. So this is an in awesome tool. So it comes up again with this internal package. So these will help you to analyze a file dynamically, right? So okay, so next thing, the last thing probably we will do in this similar like process execution and similar, what is we call a Regshot. So Regshot is a tool which will help you to compare between your registry key. So you can do something like that. So you can take a first shot when you ran a malware, before running a malware basically, and it will give you the output in any location. So like if you want to show in a desktop, and if you just plain text, if you run the first shot and save, so what it will do, it will dump all of your keys that is currently present on your machine, and it will store in this kind of format. So we are not going to store it, but what actually we can do, um, after running that malware, you can run the second shot. So and after that, after running the second shot, you can compare that both two shots. So what are the registry key that has been modified by your malware? So that is a super useful tool to check the registry hype for checking or for the modification purpose. So and it's a must that you need on your arsenal. So again, if you go here and if you come and check Regshot sys internal, so again Regshot is also a sys internal tool. Okay, so you can download Regshot from here as well. So we will dump a download link for you. Let us check if Regshot is a sys internal tool. I don't think from sys internal suite Regshot will come. Let me check. No, Regshot is not there. So this is not coming as a sys internal suite, but you can download Regshot from like this kind of website. So yeah, so sys internal utilities, Regshot download. Probably here you can get it. Yes, so this website you can use, and you can probably download. So these are like free tools, so you can download it anyway. So we will dump a link for you. No worries on that, right? So so far we have covered like base level of tooling that you need for analyzing malware, right? So next thing we will discuss about Wireshark. I believe most of the people and most of our cybersecurity folks is already about of Wireshark. So once you install the Wireshark and you start capturing the packet. So if you just select that interface, all interface shown. So if you start capturing your packet, so because currently I don't have any interface to capture my Wireshark, but when we will show you the malware analysis, when we will run it, and we will show you what the Wireshark is basically capturing. So the thing is, when you run a malware, before running it, you just open Wireshark and you capture your probably DNS packets. You can filter it out and you can see that what are the domains or what are the host name it is trying to query as a part of C2 communication. Then you can list down those particular domains and collect those IOCs from it, and you can probably take action on them if you are working on an incident responder, right? So this is again a free tool, and you can download it in internet anywhere. So that's Wireshark, and once you are like done with your Wireshark, so you can save your like as you can open here, import any hex dump. You can save your pcap file as well from your Wireshark tool. So we will show you how you store that pcap in our next demo. So you can save it and you can probably plot it in some other tool that is coming up now. So focus on, right? Okay. So the thing is, um, the next tool that we are going to discuss is ProcDot. So ProcDot is basically used for like yeah. So okay, I don't need this. Okay. So Procmon, what Procmon does, Procmon gives you uh, highly kind of mapped or um, graphical interface or graphical representation of your malware execution process. So after you are done with this process execution, so we will show you what actually we will do. So we will open that process execution uh, process execution suite in our front in our background, and we will show you basically um, after running that particular malware, definitely we will be having a process that will be running, right? So we will save that particular process in a process in a procmon folder, so procmon output, and we will load that procmon output here. And after running that Procmon output, it will give us the option to select which process to start with, right? So next, once we see, let me show you if I have any ProcDot sample, how it looks. ProcDot image, I'm trying to find out, let me Google it up. Yeah, so this kind of image that you probably see. So suppose if you are running a software and this is your execution first exe tool, Procmon will show you what are the next tools, what are the next exe files, what are the bat files it communicating, what are the C2 file, C2 connection it is making, what are the like other sample files it is storing on your machine. So you will see all in a graphical manner. So that will show or that will help you to write down your analysis report and to attach that um, sample as well. So that is ProcDot we will be using um, like for creating that kind of interface or the imageal or graphical representation of the work that the malware has done on your machine. So this is a beautiful tool to visualize the artifact on a graphical manner, and you must have it on your arsenal. So again, you can download ProcDot. You go back, ProcDot image I don't need, proc dot download. So yeah, so you can come here, proc dot binary, and probably you can, if you are running it, obviously we will be running it on Windows, so you can download the zip, and the password will be ProcDot. So you can do that, right? So the link will be in the description below. You can directly dump it from there. Okay. Okay, don't need it. Okay, so so far we have covered the base tools and the basic tools from malware analysis perspective on your Windows 7 machine. Now, if you go like, so we have covered the static analysis tool, what was PEStudio. Um, then again, so we covered agent Ransack. Then the next tool we covered for now come up dynamic analysis for process execution, Procmon, Autorun, Regshot, and the ProcDot, right? So now if you want to do malware analysis on an advanced level, so Ollydbg is your best tool for having even in your arsenal. So just remember, Ollydbg um, will give you or will break particularly any malware sample for as per se like exe file or anything if you want to dump here. So that will break that application in a assembly level format. So if you would really want to deep dive or reverse engineer that particular malware, so Ollydbg is your helpful tool. So we will not go to that deep dive of Ollydbg, but if you really want or really interested to learn about Ollydbg, so let us know in the comment section below, and we will come up with Ollydbg, and probably we can host a kind of CTF challenge or something to show you how actually we can use Ollydbg, right? So again, this is like an advanced tool, but for the incident responder level, we might not need Ollydbg, but worth of showing you the functionality of it, right? So again, you can download Ollydbg from Google directly. OLL Ollydbg download. So you can come here and you can download it. So I will paste the link in the description. You can download it from there. Okay. So now, so far we have covered up basic malware analysis and a little bit of as advanced malware analysis tool. Now we will focus on the forensics level. So anyway, the malware analysis will also come in forensics, but when you really want to do malware analysis advanced level and you now want to deep dive in your forensicating approach, so one must tool you need to have, that is Autopsy. So Autopsy is a malware, I per se forensic tool that will help you, sorry, okay, that will help you to curb out the files from your hard disk. So always remember, Autopsy is basically used for forensic analysis on your full disk image, your local drives, your logical drives, so that kind of similar fashion. So central repository is not enabled, so like since I am first time using it, so you can enable it, and for this module, for this first time use, I'll see it yes. So central repository is a kind of database where Autopsy generally stores the IOCs from case to case basis. So um, if you want to get the deleted file from any of your local drive from forensic analysis, if you want to see what actually the attacker has modified on your machine, um, then suppose if you are an incident responder and if you are working on digital forensics, you might have acquired one what we can say like compromised laptop or compromised machine, and you want to analyze that in forensic level, so you can use Autopsy. So just for showing detailed demo on Autopsy is out of the scope for this particular video, but we will be coming up in our next series. So this will be stored in case data from directory, You can browse the directory as well. So suppose if you want to store in here, you can choose that as well. And once you choose that case option, it will show you, just let me show you for this little bit for this demo. So desktop I'll select, and if you go, so single user and multi-user, so basically it gives you the option to access your analysis file in a single user format or your multi-user format. So multi-user means multiple user can access one analysis case file simultaneously at a time. And single user means if you are a like if you are a one forensic investigator working on a single case, so you can do that. So for our example, basically we will be in single user mode. So case number you can write down. So these are the main information what we might need for chain of custody, or to maintain the chain of custody information details. So you can mention that here. So as of now we don't need. So if you click finish, it will create that case database for you in the particular directory that you have given. And later point of time, if you close the autopsy, you can directly create that, or you can recreate on that particular directory or database as such, right? So once this page is loaded, you just need to add your data source. Just let us give it some time and probably it will show. But just remember, on the machine on which you are running Autopsy, it must have at least a 4 GB RAM to process your file in a smoother way. So less than that, it will work, but it will take a lot of time, right? So you can curve out your deleted files. You can check your user activity from that hard disk. You can do a lot of magic using Autopsy. So we will have a detailed demo on Autopsy. So please stay tuned. Okay. So while Autopsy is running, so we will just jump on to our uh, next tool. So as I told you, so 4 GB RAM is required. So I don't have that much RAM in running my VM currently. So that might lag a little bit. So while Autopsy runs, so let us give it a little bit of rest, and we will go to our next tool. And now we want to switch to SIFT Workstation. So SIFT Workstation is a SANS forensics tool. So it's very much dependent on SleuthKit. So if you come here and if you just want to download SANS SIFT, so you just need to have a SANS account. So that's a free SANS account, and okay, so I believe they have removed that as well. So you don't need a SANS account right now. So you can download the over file and you can log in with SANS Forensic as a login ID and Forensics as a password. So it's a basically dependent tool of SleuthKit, and this is a huge tool. Basically, in memory forensics, that comes into picture. So SAN forensics, and in memory forensics, basically we need volatility. Um, uh, vol.py minus minus info. Let me clear up the screen. Okay, what happened? Okay, yeah, sometime it works crazy, right? So okay, so these are the uh, volatility plugin. So I'm not going to deep dive into volatility in this current tutorial, but we will have a detailed demo on memory forensics. But just remember, volatility and so SIFT workstation and volatility comes as a package. So volatility already pre-built tool in SIFT workstation. So it generally solves your purpose for, well, you want to do malware forensics in a memory. So if you want to capture memory, and if you have already captured that, and you want to analyze that, so volatility comes into picture. So volatility framework 2.6.1, that it will be required for parsing your current operating system version, so like Windows 10 current versions, and some of your Windows 16, I believe it should have Windows 16 version. I'm not seeing it here. Uh, Windows 2000, Windows 10, Windows 8, Windows 2012 server. Okay, yeah, so Win 2016 is also there. So uh, this profile, this much profile, you will be needing when you load that volatility, right? So you want to parse that image if you need this profiling. So uh, we will not break your head much to go in deep dive in volatility, but just remember, when you need memory forensics, volatility is your friend, right? And if you, yes, so here we come back, and in our um, Autopsy, as you can see, like disk image, you can create a local disk, you can create a logical file, unallocated space, and multiple option you can choose. So depending on your requirement, you can create output, and you can create similar thing from here, right? So as of now, let us close this up, and yeah, and I'll delete this as well. I do not need this, it's simply wasting my memory. Okay, so it is done. And as we have shown you volatility, just remember one more forensics tool that you might be needing on your arsenal for forensic analysis is magnet RAM capture. So what is basically does, magnet RAM capture helps you to dump your RAM or to dump your volatile memory. So suppose you are an incident responder, and if you have received one alert on your SIM tool or your any other tool, right, that one machine is communicating to a C2 domain, and you want to analyze that particular machine from forensic level, and you want to dump that machine's memory. So you can use this magnet RAM capture. uh, what you want to mention, just you need to dump this malware, magnet ram, uh, magnet ram exe on that particular machine, and you just want to browse on which folder you need to save. Just also remember, um, when you are dumping a ram, always remember not to dump it on the drive on which you are running the capture. So suppose if I want to dump my memory, and I am using the same C drive, will my that might break your utility. So always remember to store your data in some other location, not in your the same drive, right? So that helps you to capture your memory on a faster manner. So you just need to browse that location. So for this demo purpose, we will store it in desktop. It will give you two format, like raw format, and it will give you DD format as well. So file name you can store like memory, then raw, so it will store the file as memory.raw, and you can have an option like don't split. So this is basically if your memory is in big chunk, it will split that into different formats. So it will start from raw 1, raw 2, like that way. So if you don't want to split, you don't split it, but for huge like larger memory, we suggest you to break it in like 1 GB or 500 MB, split it for partition. And if you simply click the start option, it will start dumping your machine or dumping your RAM in this location. And this raw file you will need to parse in your volatility framework for analysis purpose, right? So we will show that in our later demo that we will be posting very soon, after we post the second phase of our malware analysis, and we show you how you can actually use this malware analysis tool that we shown in this current tutorial, and then we will start our memory forensics and other stuffs on this area. So pretty much this one. So uh, for forensics and to start with your malware lab, this much tool is more than enough to solve your purpose. And if you have any query related to the tools you need, you can let us know in the comment section below, and we will see you, and we will be happy to help you.
We hope this has been informative to you. In the second part of this tutorial, we will download a malware and try to analyze it via static and dynamic method, and we will use the tools that we have shown now. So please stay tuned, and if you like the content, please don't forget to subscribe our channel and hit the bell icon so that you get notified as soon as we upload the new video. Thanks for watching.